Hello everyone! Inflexion hosted a stress test of their highly anticipated survival game Nightingale. This meant anyone who signed up was able to play the game for a few hours, with limited content of course. However, what we did have to play with, it was more than enough to keep us busy for those hours. And they even extended the timer towards the end by a full 5 hours, which is lucky for me because I came in pretty late. In this video I'll go over my experience with the game. This mainly includes building, as that is what I did for about 2 hours. And after that I went out exploring and tackled a tower filled with enemies. But to see the terrible mistakes I made, you'll have to wait till the end of the video. So when you start the game, you meet this mysterious dude named Puck. He gives you a few tasks which will teach you the game. I'm pretty sure though that the few quests were taken out, just to get the people into the game faster, which was nice. Though not long after starting my house, he came up to me with this.
How far you've come, and yet how little you possess.
Like, I know dude, I'm working on it. Next up, it's time to gather some resources. Luckily for us, this stress test came with a bunch of goodies, but we still had to collect a few things like twigs or logs. Tools in the game have durability, like most others, but repairing them is a lot easier. You simply repair it in your inventory. All it takes are some essence, which you can get by harvesting resources, so it's a nice cycle. These essence are also used in the shops, and probably more things, because they sounded pretty important. Now let's jump into my favorite thing to do in survival games, building a base. In this version of the game we had access to a few different building styles. They were all distinct from one another, and in the full game we'll have access to I think over 12, they said, but don't quote me on that. During the stress test, of course, we had access to your basic twig or stone variety walls, but there were also styles made using wood planks and beams, and I like to use those quite a lot, but unless I was blind, I couldn't find the walls anywhere in that style. But it had a balcony, which was pretty cool and is something I haven't seen before. Usually I have to make those myself. Now the other styles I didn't get to use, but one of them looked like a medieval theme. Now Nightingale added one feature that might sound small, but is really helpful and time-saving. Definitely something I hope future survival games look at and implement as well. This is the feature to connect blueprints to one another and add materials to just one part to build it. While this on its own is already a time-saving feature, the coolest part is even when you work on, let's say, the roof, you can stand at the very bottom of the building and still add resources. And not only that, if you already constructed the first floor, you can still add resources to an already constructed part of the building, and anything on top of it, it will add on to it, building up all the blueprints. Now this probably sounds very weird, and I don't really know how to properly explain it, but it is such a neat feature. There were sadly not many decorations to play around with in this build of the game, but the developers did assure that there are actually decorations when the full game launches. But here's what I built during the stress test. So I built a stone foundation that went all around the core of my base, which you need to protect from enemies. It may already be at half health because I dropped a few trees on it though. But anyway, on those foundations I placed stone walls to keep the enemies out, with a door of course, and nothing can get in, except Mary Poppins of course. Then I created a 2-story building where the bottom floor is made using stone and the top part's made out of wood planks. Just don't look at the foundation, I was just figuring things out, and I didn't get a clear picture in my head until way later. Now the base will look very empty due to the lack of decorations as stated before. And then I also made a walkway along the top of the wall so you can look out over the land. Now I would have completed the walkway and the entire base, but before the server closed, I wanted to go out and explore. During this time, multiple things grabbed my attention, like a random statue or carriage. I also saw a cave, and when I wanted to grab a torch from my inventory, I was attacked by some pink-looking bear. Inside the cave there were ores to mine and spiders guarding it, and another pink bear for some reason. I swear, the pink bear just never gets old. I don't know why. It looks so funny. Not far from the base I saw some ship sails. And upon closer inspection, I'm not sure what to do here. There was some sort of magical barrier that I couldn't seem to break. Later I did encounter another magical barrier, but I managed to open this one. It led into some huge tower with monsters and treasure chests. Now filled with confidence from clearing the top room, I jumped down a hole And this was a massive mistake, as a lot of monsters spawned, and while backing up I fell even farther, which broke my leg, and in a panic I missed a bunch of my shots. And I swear, under normal circumstances, I'm totally a perfect shot, just trust me. However, of course I died. I ran all the way back and jumped down again just to get my loot. It seems like when you die you keep everything in your hotbar, which is at least helpful, as I merry pop-in my way down. Now clearing all the enemies gave me a lot of resources like ingots, and the chests had a lot of potions in them. Now the last interesting thing that I want to mention is Nightingale's weather system. I've seen plenty of weather conditions, like the rain which makes you wet, snow that makes you cold and can hurt you, or even standing in the sun, which can get you too hot and that will hurt you. Something though I've not seen before is hail. Now you'd think this just works similar to snow, but no, when it's hailing in the game and you're not sheltered, it will slowly chip away at your health bar, which I find hilarious. Now this about sums up my experience with the public stress test for Nightingale. I had a lot of fun, probably spent too much time building on the house, as I didn't even get to check out the game's main feature, which is traveling through portals. But that will just have to wait for another time. Now if any of you played during this test as well, let me know what your experience was like in the comments. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.